So please do not use the native forEach or map method. So we'll try it here for this number problem, which we did before. So it takes in this subtract using the arrow function. And so basically for part one, we're going to create a function called forEach. And it'll take in an array as well as a function. And then we're going to have a new array that we'll push into. And then we'll write our for loop. And then we will push using the push method, and we'll call the func on each element in the array. And then finally, we'll return new R. And then for part two, let's see if that works. Undefine, undefined.
Excuse me, Jonathan.
They want us to rebuild the map function, but using this forEach function as a helper function. So we can do that down here. We can say function map so that we don't get that error. And then we could say R, and then we can call this mapper. And basically what we're going to do here is just return forEach R and mapper. So we'll pass in as an argument the parameter that we're getting into our map function. Type of console.log return forEach R mapper. The process tied unexpectedly signal killed. Let's see. Function forEach. Well, that's strange. That didn't happen before. Should log forEach ARR mapper. I was having problems with REPL earlier, so I'm not sure if it's still doing that, but let's see. Huh. REPL process. Well, that's a new error to me. I haven't seen that before. I'm not sure if anybody's coding along and if they ran it, if it worked on their end, but it worked. We can try this. We can do.
Sorry for interrupting you, Jonathan. I think your mic is somewhere in your shirt. It just makes some noises.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to put my headphones in.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay. Breach was not supposed to return. Yeah, it's not. I mean, we can just like operate on, we can just do it like this. Let's see, I was going to try. So we could run the function each time. Let's see. So we can say like console.log forEach, and then we could pass it the array 3. Cannot read property undefined. Oh, I'm using square brackets. So maybe that was the issue. Func is not functional. Oh, let's see. each. Okay, and then I have to also pass it the subtract function. So let's see. For each.
Jonathan, your mic is still making noises.
Okay.
It sounds like it's, I don't know, rubbing on your shirt or something like that.
Okay. How about now? Is it okay now?
Sounds okay, I guess.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Having some issues with this one. Let's see. So we'll stop. Refresh. Okay. Run. I have no reason why REPL is causing issues. Let's see. Stop. Still works. Oh yeah. Thank you. Totally missed that. Okay, so it's saying undefined. So func r arr. So I guess it won't operate it on in place. So let's see if it works if I return it. Okay, and it just returns the new array func. Oh yeah, because we have to push the new array. Yeah, I mean, let's see. New ARR. Dot push. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure why it won't operate on in place. Because just running the function, it should do that. Console.log. Func ARR.
You need to return something, right? Because whenever you run the map function, if it doesn't return anything, then nothing will be console log.
Right. Yeah. Well, well, with forEach, it's an in-place operation. So like the forEach method doesn't return a new array. It just operates on the elements in place. So that's kind of like what we were trying to achieve here. But if anybody comes up with a solution, let me know. If not, yeah, let's try. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. So here we're going to recreate the filter method. So recreate the filter method using JavaScript, and the filter function should take an array as an argument and a second argument as a callback function to use to check to filter each element based on the logs below. So here, basically, we're just trying to filter out even numbers to a new array, and here we're trying to filter out odd numbers to a new array. So we're going to create the filter function, and then we're going to fill in these callback functions that we're running. So in this first log, we're going to pass in func1, and for the second one, we're going to pass in func2. So we'll say function filter. And for this one, we're going to take an array as an argument. And then we're going to have, like the filter method, we're going to have a callback. And filter returns a new array, right? It's doesn't operate in place. So we'll say const new ARR. How's it now? Maybe I'll just not the mic. Can everybody hear me now? Is everybody is better? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to create this new empty array. Const new array. And then we're going to have our basic for loop. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry about that. I is less than r dot length. And we'll make sure to increment this time. And then inside here is where we're going to use the callback. In the callback, we can check if it's true, because basically this code is going to check if the number's even, and if it's even, then we're going to basically return true, or and then if this is odd, we're going to return true, because it's basically kind of like what they want out of this log. And with the filter function, you can check for any type of equality, like as you're going through and filtering a data set, you can, you know, if it was like strings, you can check if it includes a certain letter, and you can filter it out based on that. But in this example, we're just very simply using numbers. So for this first one, the first function, a way to check for if a number is even or not is to use the modulo operator. So we can say that here's num. So we can say num, and it's this percentage sign. And we could say num2 equals 0. And basically what that's asking is, if we divide 1 to 2, does it have a remainder of 0 or not? If it does have a remainder of 0, we know it's an even number. If it doesn't, we know it's a odd number. So if it is even, we just want to return true. And then down here, we're doing the same thing, but for odd. So we could say if num modulo 2, in this case, does not equal 0, we can return true. So in here, as we're going through our loop, we can run this function to return us true or false for the most part. So we can ask if func, it's going to be either func1 or func2. And then we're going to pass it the num, which is an element in the array, which is a number in the array. We could say arr square bracket I. So that'll evaluate to either true or false. And if it is true, then basically we want to just push it into the new array. So we'll say new r dot push arr square bracket I. So we don't need to run the function on it again. We just need to push that number. And then finally, return new arr. Filter array is not defined. Okay, so down here when I'm calling the function, it's named filter array. Don't have that in my instruction, so I must have that before. So basically, we just change the name here to filter array. There you go. Okay, so here is the same thing, but we're going to do it with the reduce method. So if everybody remembers reduce is basically takes an array. It could be an array of objects, it could be an array of numbers, it could be an array of strings, and then it reduces it down to a single value. So if anybody likes cooking, the way I like to think about it is, if you're cooking what's referred to as a reduction, you start with like all these ingredients, and then it kind of boils down to some type of like sauce that you're going to put on your steak or whatever. So the function reduce takes an array and reduces the elements to a single value. The reduce function loops through the array and applies any operation that you can put into a function to each element